nor our auntie's history of enslaved coffles.
I'm going to suggest, as I have, this book is called The Half Has Never Been Told. It's actually written by a white man who is by trade an economist. And his way of looking at our enslavement is so visceral. You brought up a coffle, Auntie D, right? And I want us to understand, because he's quoting someone. He's quoting a person who used to watch this happen, right? Named Ivy. His last name is Ivy. But a coffle, let me put it in this man's words really quick. They sold slaves here and everywhere. It says, I've seen droves of Negroes brought in here on foot going south to be sold. They walk in double lines, chained together by twos. That's Black men, Black women, and Black children. Somehow we have this idea that white folks took pity on us as Black women and we just did Black women stuff. No, those chains were 30 pounds of weight on each person. They had smaller chains for children. They even had baby ones, sick. And they were iron. Okay. Over the hills they came in lines reaching as far as the eye can see, on foot. They weren't allowed to change any clothes or anything like that. And if you, like, Django shows you some small understanding of that. They got like 5 or 10 men in together, chained together, right? But that's a very small representation of what really occurred. So you have an iron collar that is secured by a blacksmith with an iron lock that the slave traders had a key to. And you have to be able to walk in step. And this iron collar is connected by a chain to the manacles of the person behind you. We worked, somehow we missed this. You ever look at, some of the pictures from the 1800s, you will see Black women doing the same exact work as Black men. You're not gonna, you understand what I'm saying? And this whole thing where, oh well, y'all are house slaves and you is field. No. I need y'all to understand the coffles, which is being chained to each other in twos, and then the people behind you being chained to you by your collars chained to their manacles. That's everybody. They didn't give a damn. And you were walking from Maryland down.
Black women, we are far less likely to be the prey of other people when we know and understand our history.
And then they use these same people to clear the land between what is now, the South in the United States, that they murdered the Native Americans, the indigenous population here, to take over. And they were brutal in the way they did it. I don't know why these people like fire. I don't know why they like cutting parts off of people for no reason. Nobody's done anything to you. But this is what they do. Here's how the author describes it. And I want you to just kind of sit back and close your eyes for a second, because this is hard before we get into these ladies. He says there are 1,760 yards in a mile. more than 2,000 steps. There are 40,000 in a long day's journey for those in the Coffle. 200,000 steps is a hard week. For 80 years, from the 1780s until 1865, enslaved peoples walked for miles, days, and weeks, driven south and west over flat lands and mountains, step after step. They went further from home, stumbling with fatigue, staggering with spring mornings when they refused to think of what weighed them down. Many covered 700 miles before stepping off the road their footsteps made. 700 miles with 30-pound iron chains biting into your skin. Every bug imaginable, and you had to work and cut down the trees and sometimes plant for new white folks that they were giving land grabs to, worked out by the Louisiana Purchase and everybody little favorite uh uh founding father Jefferson and the gang. By the time, I won't even tell you what happened to the women all night, and they still had to work during the day. See, when Black men are telling me that, oh, this or that, well, why is it that Black women would give their lives for their children and the men, step in between them, guns and whips and such horrifying cruelties? But Black men were like, well, we were enslaved, so we couldn't do anything about it for y'all. You could have given your life. We have choices. We might not like them, but we have them because we willingly gave ours. And for all of us to be in this coffle, walk 700 fucking miles, 30 pounds of chains, and you participate in the rape of me. And I am walking in this pregnant, or I just had a baby. And as that baby gets heavier, walking through those 700 miles, these white men would make us put our babies down on the railroad. Maybe somebody would pick them up and maybe the train would roll over them. This is serious. This isn't a joke. This isn't playing. This is not oh, like these folks are saying about, oh, slavery wasn't that bad. Well, let's enslave you. Let's put you in a coffin, poo. You can't even listen to what y'all did. And Black men can't hear it either. They don't take accountability or responsibility. So now here we are, and we have 5 different Black women that you, as Black men, tortured and terrorized because you didn't like what they said. Not because they rolled up and plotted to, take you out, drown you or something. No, you just didn't like that they didn't pay you attention or the attention you wanted. And that's never really defined because that changes minute to minute and day by day, as we see with these 5 different Black women.